Alright, YouTube land, we're back with another video. Today we've got a Uniden Grant XL and a little RMLE KL203P sent in by Matt. Matt sent this in, and he sent a note and everything. So, radio has been hacked up by the previous owner. Please restore back to stock and align, tune up, and do upgrades. Looking for clean, clear audio. I will be using this radio with the RMLE KL203 that I included. I look forward to the results. Thank you. Maybe add an echo board to see what you think. Well, I can put an echo board in there if you want. I guess I need to contact you real quick and see if that's really what you want or not. But anyway, and I'm very glad that this came in like this, because this is going to be something that really is really important aspect of radio. There is no magic numbers when it comes to mating a radio with an amplifier together. And I'm really glad this came in like this, because we can definitely hit on something that is the worst advice ever that you will see. Mainly it's on Facebook on the pages. You know, somebody will say, I've got this radio on this amp, but they say I sound muffled when I turn it on, and then people will chime in, people that really giving bad advice. Well, just set it at 2 watts. Just set your radio at 2 watts, and that'll be fine. That is the worst advice ever. They need to actually be mated up for 100% modulation to work properly, especially if you're using it on AM. On sideband also, it needs to be set where the radio does not drive the amplifier or overdrive the amplifier. It needs to be set for 100% modulation there too. It's very important that these be mated together properly. It's not something that's difficult, but especially when you're having an amplifier, you don't want any hackery involved, any swing kits, no bull crap that's going to make you splatter the band out, because if you're splattering the band out with just radio power, when you turn the amp on, it's going to go 10 times worse. And, you want a good clean signal. It will always override a splatter box. And, swing hard and all that average watt stuff, all that does is tear up the band. A good clean signal will override it any day of the week. So anyway, not to talk your head off, we're going to pause the video and we're going to get into this, and we'll be back. Alright, so we're back with Matt's Grant. And we got her kicked on here, and she lit up like a Christmas tree. But I will say, this is proof that just because one is hacked up pretty bad, let's go out to 110 megahertz, that it can still look good there. And that's the way Cobras and Unidens and such radios do. They're not quite as successful to IMD as much as the export radios are. But nonetheless, we got a lot of work to do to this one to get her where she's producing a decent signal. So we're going to pause the video and we're going to get in it. We'll be back. Alright, we're back with Matt's Uniden, and well, first thing we want to point out here, we've got a few issues. We've got our 131 clipped, which is down here. You really can't see it, but it's clipped. I was going to see if I could, the wires are in the way, but anyway, also we've got the second sign, big time meter baiters here working on this thing. What that means is guys that tune things for maximum meter watts, because they don't know any better. So what they've done is they've clipped the wire here that supplies the final, this purple wire, and they've taken it over to 12 volts, which essentially doesn't do anything. Monkey watts basically. So, and they've added that capacitor on the bottom side. So anyway, we got a little work to do to get this thing where we can tune it up and make it right again. So we're going to get started on that, and we'll be back. Alright, so we're back with the Grant XL for Matt. and we've got the little KL amp hooked up, and we've got everything matched together. So what we're going to do now is we've got the amp off. We're basically going to show you what's going on with everything. Let's turn the radio on. Let's go to AM. So we're engaged here. Pump this when we get my scope set where we can kind of look at things. Yeah, and everything's looking good. Now, the way this matched up, basically, and the radio, to match up to this amplifier, okay, we basically have to properly match this amplifier, we have to turn this radio down. So right now, the way it's set is we're keying about 1.5 watts. It's a 50 watt slug. We're keying about 1.5 watts, and the radio modulates forward to about 5 watts. Now, a lot of people will say, well, wow, you know, the radio's not doing much, but this is the proper way to do things, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. And when a customer comes and says he wants this radio matched with this amplifier, for this amplifier, this is the proper way to do it, because that's what we get. What we get coming out with doing this, let me change slugs. Is now the amplifier is doing about 80 watts PEP power on AM with about a 20 watt dead key. So we're at 100% modulation, basically. So we're at 80 watts PEP drive with the amp on. Now, the difference is on sideband, we've set this radio for 10 watts on sideband. And on sideband, the amp will do, if it's doing what it's supposed to, you'll get about 10 times what you put in. We're doing about 110 watts, about 105 watts PEP power on sideband. So that's how that works. You know, you definitely don't want to make this amplifier do much more than what I've got it doing now. It does not have the heat dissipation for that, and we want it to live, and we want it to live a long time. So now this is why, or this is how you basically, we've matched this Grant with this amplifier to use this amplifier. Now, this opens up a lot of worlds for this guy. If he decides to go bigger, he can always expand by adding a bigger box and using this as the drive or a pre-driver. And, you know, so don't let the little, you know, 1.5 watts swinging 6 watts fool you. Don't let you fool you. That's, you know, that's 100% modulation and good modulation. Your meter baiters call that radios that don't swing. And they call it that because they don't understand the proper way that amplitude modulation works. So anyway, it swings plenty. If you're swinging from 1.5 watts to 6 watts, you have better than a 4-to-1 ratio there. So anyway, so we've got all this matched up. It's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and separate all this and check the receive on the radio. Radio's been aligned properly. Everything's looking good there. And this setup's going to make him a really nice setup. And it's something he can always expand on. This will make a great, you know, if he ever added like a 6 or 4 or 6 transistor amplifier or something bigger, or decided he wanted to go bigger, he could always use this for the driver. And everything's still set up. You just put the driver in line and go with it. So, all right, well, we're gonna get into the receive on this, and we'll be back. All right, so we're back with the Grant XL, and it's coming in at 12 dB of sideband at -98, which it's going to need a receive alignment. It just figures. You see all the markings on the cans and stuff. Somebody's been in this thing. You know, and this thing was jacked up, you know, a pretty good hack job anyway, which means they turned everything in here, and it's a little out of whack, because we definitely can do better than that with a Grant, the receive on a Grant. So we're going to get started on that, and we'll be back. All right, so we're back with the Grant, and we're coming in now at -106. Doing a good job. And feels like it's falling out about negative 118, negative 119. That's where it's starting to fall out at. So, alright. Well, we're happy with the way that came out. So, alright, well, we're going to get this thing put back together and we'll do an overview. Okay, so we're back with the Grant. We're going to do a real quick overview. So we're going to start on the upper sideband with the amp on. We're on a 500 watt slug. Hello, radio. I'll turn this up where you can hear it. Hello, radio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. CQ, CQ. We're doing about 110 watts PEP power. Okay. So now we're going to turn sideband off. We're going to go to AM. Back on AM. On AM. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's turn that down a little bit. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio check 1, 2. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, we're bouncing up there almost 100 watts PEP under voice. Now under tone we was doing 80 watts. Under my voice, which is changed, which is multiple tones. Hello, radio 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing between 80 and 100 watts PEP power. Okay, we can turn the amp off and just listen to the radio itself. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sounding good, looking good too. So, like I say, everything is working and matched together properly, and this is the way a system can work. So now we built a system for this guy that he can build upon. If he decides to go bigger, you know, he can always put something bigger behind this. But if this is what he, you know, all he wants to run. All right, we had a small phone call there. So anyway, just to show you what 6 watts PEP sounds like, and that power is not necessarily relative or the amount of power you're putting out. 100% modulation is 100% modulation is what I'm trying to say. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio check. Hello, radio. So anyway, it's working good. It's sounding good, and this is the way we do things. We set up stuff for people, and that's our goal, is proper setups. You'll talk a lot further and with clarity, and the system will work really great for you. So, Matt, we appreciate your business, Matt. And y'all stay tuned. Got a couple of amplifiers coming this week. More than a couple. We're going to be pumping out the last of the little backlog we got going on. Well, not all the backlog we got going on, but we got several coming up within the next few weeks. So y'all be safe, be careful, and be kind. And again, Happy New Year. We appreciate your business. Appreciate you watching. We'll be back.